kooky, and it seems like they're just leaning into it. Like there's no course correction at all. Just leaning into the kooky.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Oh, yeah.
For comedy. It's so weird. It really is like the whole country's hypnotized. And I just think this is a perfect storm of things that are happening all at the same time.
What if the glitz and glamour of Hollywood hid a secret so dark that even its brightest stars couldn't shine their way out of it? That's exactly what people are asking after conservative commentator Candace Owens dropped bombshell accusations about some of the biggest names in entertainment. According to her, the same A-list celebrities we idolize on the red carpet might have been complicit in the scandal surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and his infamous parties. These weren't just any parties. They were allegedly exclusive, hedonistic gatherings cloaked in secrecy, where things reportedly spiraled far beyond anything most of us could imagine. The shocking part, Owens claims that some of the industry's most powerful figures stood by, watching it all unfold in silence. And now, their silence is raising questions that can no longer be ignored.
So I would imagine if you're the CIA, you're like, okay, we're looking for people who have gone through these things in their life that have curated this kind of like personality type.
Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's a for instance, like your bit about Puffy.
Candace Owens has never been one to shy away from controversy, and this time, she's pulling no punches. Her accusations shine a spotlight on a group of celebrities she believes are not only connected to Diddy's notorious gatherings, but also responsible for enabling the behavior that's now coming to light. These stars, Owens argues, might not have directly participated in the alleged misconduct, but their presence and refusal to speak out make them guilty by association. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a scandal where the rich and famous are dragged down to earth? From Hollywood royalty to music legends, the list of names linked to these parties is jaw-dropping. The question is, what did they know, and why didn't they do anything?
Money, power, status, success, God complex, all this is happening with Diddy. Yeah. There's now questions of, is Diddy working with the Fed?
One of the most shocking revelations is the alleged involvement of some of the biggest names in entertainment, including Beyonce, JayZ, Usher, and even LeBron James. These are people who have spent decades crafting impeccable public images, yet their connection to Diddy's gatherings raises eyebrows. While no one is accusing these stars of doing anything criminal, Owens suggests that their silence and continued association with Diddy make them complicit in a culture that thrived on secrecy and indulgence. Her words cut deep. If you were there, if you saw what was happening, and you didn't speak up, you're just as guilty as the people who orchestrated it. But what exactly were they witnessing? According to reports, these parties weren't your typical Hollywood soirees. They were exclusive events that started out glamorous but quickly descended into something far darker. And the stars who attended knew exactly what they were walking into. Take Beyonce and JayZ, for instance. As one of the most powerful couples in the world, their influence extends far beyond music. Yet they've remained eerily silent about the accusations swirling around Diddy. Owens points out that their close friendship with him over the years makes it hard to believe they had no idea what was going on. Were they simply turning a blind eye, or was there more to their silence? Some insiders speculate that their decision to stay quiet is a calculated move to protect their empire. After all, speaking out could open a Pandora's box of questions about their own involvement in Hollywood's darker corners. And let's not forget their frequent appearances at Diddy's parties, including his legendary white parties, where the rich and famous mingled in what many described as a world of excess. While the events were publicized as glamorous gatherings, rumors circulated for years about what happened after the cameras stopped rolling.
You're just like, it's there. I mean, it's not just there. It's everywhere. My fucking news feed is dominated by it.
Yes.
Fox News, CNN, everyone. There's raids at Diddy's house.
Usher's connection to Diddy is another story that's raising eyebrows. Years ago, the R&B superstar revealed that he lived with Diddy as a teenager, a time he described as an education in the music industry. But as more details about Diddy's parties emerge, some are questioning what kind of education Usher was really getting. Candace Owens has reignited these discussions, suggesting that Usher's early exposure to Diddy's lifestyle might have had lasting effects. In interviews, Usher has spoken about attending parties and witnessing things that most teenagers would never experience. Owens speculates that his silence now could be a way of shielding himself from questions about what he saw, or even what he might have been pressured into. While Usher has never directly addressed these rumors, his past comments about Diddy's mentorship take on a new, unsettling tone in light of the recent allegations. And then there's Justin Bieber, whose early career was marked by his close association with Diddy. Video clips from Bieber's teenage years show him hanging out with Diddy, who at one point joked about having custody of the young star for a weekend. At the time, it seemed like harmless fun, an established mogul mentoring a rising talent. But now, those same clips are being revisited with a more critical eye. Owens claims that Bieber's experiences with Diddy are part of a larger pattern of young artists being exposed to environments that blur the lines between mentorship and exploitation. She even hinted that Bieber's well-documented struggles with mental health and substance use later in life might be linked to the pressures and influences he faced during his formative years in the industry. While Bieber has yet to comment on these allegations, the resurfaced videos have sparked a wave of speculation about what really went on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it's over.
You think it's over?
I think it's over for him as like a figure in entertainment.
Right. But do you think it's over as him as far as
jail?
like he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
I don't think so.
Even LeBron James, a name not usually associated with Hollywood scandals, has found himself drawn into the conversation. Owens has questioned why the basketball icon, known for his vocal stance on social issues, has remained silent about Diddy's legal troubles. James and Diddy have been friends for years, with the athlete frequently attending the mogul's events. While there's no evidence to suggest that James was involved in anything inappropriate, Owens argues that his silence speaks volumes. LeBron has built his brand on being a role model and speaking out against injustice, she said. So why isn't he saying anything now? Is he protecting someone or is he protecting himself? It's a bold accusation, but one that's gaining traction as people start to question the role of celebrities in enabling harmful behavior.
The 90s?
Music business, it's a lot of people.
It's not just the music business. It's like, it's the extortion business.
Well, I mean, the rap game was crazy. That's a thing a lot of people don't realize is like, back in the day, especially like early rap game, you weren't just going to play at, what's the random theater that you would play in LA? What's like a big theater?
The Kardashian Connection is another layer to this tangled web. Khloe Kardashian once shared a story about attending one of Diddy's parties, describing it as a wild night where half the people were naked. At the time, her comments were laughed off as a typical Kardashian anecdote, but in the context of recent allegations, they take on a more sinister undertone. Owens has criticized Khloe and her family for perpetuating a culture of excess and indulgence, arguing that their participation in events like Diddy's parties normalizes behavior that should be called out, not celebrated. The Kardashians have built an empire on glamorizing a certain lifestyle, Owens said, but at what cost? When does indulgence cross the line into complicity? One of the most compelling aspects of Owens' accusations is her claim that many of these celebrities are now scrambling to distance themselves from Diddy. She alleges that some have gone so far as to scrub their social media accounts, deleting photos and posts that could link them to the disgraced mogul. This behavior, she argues, is a clear sign that they're trying to cover their tracks. If you have nothing to hide, why are you erasing your history? Owens asked. It's a valid question, especially when you consider how meticulously celebrities manage their public images. The apparent effort to erase connections to Diddy only adds fuel to the fire, making people wonder what else might come to light.
There's people on both sides, right? There's the people on the right that are trying to nail the people that are on the left with this. There's people that are journalists that are trying to nail the people that are involved in this.
This is it,
And they've managed to keep that list from coming out, which shows you how powerful certain people are. That should show you a lot. That should be terrifying.
But perhaps the most damning accusation is Owens' assertion that these celebrities knew exactly what was happening at Diddy's parties and chose to stay silent. She's not alone in this belief. Attorney Tony Buzbee, who represents over 120 alleged victims of Diddy's gatherings, has made similar claims. According to Buzbee, anyone who attended these events and witnessed inappropriate behavior without speaking up is just as guilty as the people who orchestrated it. Silence is complicity, he said in a recent interview. If you saw something and didn't say anything, you're part of the problem. It's a harsh statement, but one that's resonating with a public increasingly fed up with the culture of silence in Hollywood. As more details emerge about Diddy's parties, the spotlight is turning toward the industry as a whole. These gatherings weren't just about one person's actions. They were a symptom of a larger problem. The entertainment industry has long been criticized for its culture of excess and its tendency to protect powerful figures at all costs. Owens and others argue that it's time for that culture to change. But change doesn't come easily, especially when it threatens to topple some of the most influential names in the business. So, what happens next? Will these celebrities continue to stay silent, or will they finally speak out? And if they do, what will they say? The answers to these questions could redefine the entertainment industry as we know it. But one thing is clear, the era of looking the other way is over. The public is demanding accountability, and the people who once seemed untouchable are finding themselves in the crosshairs. As Owens herself put it, this is just the beginning. The truth is coming, and no one is safe. And with that, the stage is set for the next act in this unfolding drama, where the stakes are higher than ever, and the consequences could change Hollywood forever. Let's be real, silence can be deafening. And when it comes to the celebrities linked to seeing Diddy Combs and his infamous gatherings, their refusal to address the elephant in the room is raising even more questions. But here's the catch. It's not just about staying quiet anymore. According to insiders, Some of these stars are scrambling behind the scenes to protect their reputations. Demand letters are reportedly being sent, ultimatums are being issued, and legal teams are being issued, and legal teams are in overdrive trying to figure out how to navigate this minefield. So, what's the deal? Why aren't these A-listers stepping forward to clear their names? And what exactly is being hidden? The answers might be even more shocking than the initial accusations.
If that's part of the indictment, that's somewhat like a blackmail. He was blackmailing people to be in the freak-offs. So, that's federal. That could be that's a federal charge. He can't blackmail people to say, yo, listen here, you did it once and you're going to do it again. That ain't gonna make it with the government or nobody.
Attorney Tony Busby, who represents over 120 alleged victims of Diddy's gatherings, has made it clear that nobody is off the hook. In a recent interview, he didn't mince words, saying, if you were there, if you knew what was happening, and you didn't stop it, you're just as liable. And he's not just talking, he's taking action. Reports have surfaced that demand letters have been sent to a slew of high-profile figures who attended these events, urging them to settle out of court or prepare to face lawsuits. Even those who didn't directly engage in questionable behavior are being called out for their inaction. The logic: if you saw something wrong and did nothing, you're part of the problem. And let's not forget, silence isn't just a choice, it's a strategy. But why would these celebrities risk their entire careers to stay quiet? The answer might lie in the power dynamics of Hollywood itself.
Is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway house.
Think about it. These are people at the top of their game, with millions of fans, lucrative endorsement deals, and spotless public images. The last thing they want is to be dragged into a scandal that could tarnish their reputation or, worse, expose secrets they've kept hidden for years. And let's be honest, Hollywood is a town built on mutual favors and unspoken agreements. If one person goes down, they could take a whole lot of others with them. That's why some insiders are speculating that the silence isn't just about self-preservation. It's about protecting the entire ecosystem. Because if Diddy's alleged misdeeds were an open secret, as many claim, then how many others knew and said nothing? But there's more to it than just silence. Some of these celebrities are reportedly taking active steps to distance themselves from Diddy and the controversy surrounding him. Social media accounts are being scrubbed, photos are disappearing, and old connections are being quietly erased. It's like a digital cleanup operation, and it's raising even more eyebrows. Take, for example, the rumors about Beyonce and JayZ. For years, they've been seen attending Diddy's events, from his glamorous white parties to private gatherings that were strictly invite-only. But as soon as the allegations started piling up, their connection to him seemed to vanish overnight. Sources close to the couple claim they've instructed their team to remove any trace of association with Diddy, whether it's old Instagram posts or public mentions. It's a calculated move, one that screams, we don't want to be part of this narrative. But here's the thing, scrubbing your past doesn't erase what people already know. And in the age of the internet, once something is out there, it's out there forever.
We have always said it is about children. It's not just about me. Never just made it about me. I'm just the loudest one.
Behind the scenes, some insiders have hinted that Beyonce and JayZ's retreat from Diddy's circle might not be as sudden as it seems. According to one source who claims to have been close to both camps, the power couple had already begun to distance themselves even before the allegations surfaced. They're strategic, the source said. JayZ and Beyonce don't do anything without thinking 3 steps ahead. They probably saw the storm brewing long before anyone else did and cut ties quietly. But if that's true, why haven't they addressed their connection to Diddy publicly? Some speculate they're waiting to see how deep the scandal goes before deciding whether to speak out or keep their heads down entirely. Adding to the intrigue, there are whispers that some of Diddy's private gatherings weren't just about fun, they were about leverage. Multiple sources have suggested that Diddy had a habit of recording interactions at his events, allegedly using these recordings to maintain control over his inner circle. While no concrete evidence of this has emerged, the rumors are enough to make people wonder, could that explain why some of Hollywood's biggest stars are so tight-lipped? One entertainment lawyer speculated if those tapes exist, they'd be dynamite. We're talking about careers ruined overnight, billion-dollar deals collapsing. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of that.
I don't think they are scared of him. I think they more so, they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've been known for. You understand?
And it's not just celebrities who might have reason to worry. There's also speculation that Diddy's connections extend into the political world. His events were known to attract not just entertainers, but also high-profile business people and even politicians. This crossover has fueled theories that the fallout from this scandal could reach far beyond Hollywood. There are people in Washington who are just as nervous about this as the stars in LA, claimed one anonymous source. If any proof comes out that they were involved, even peripherally, it could be a PR disaster. Some even believe that this could explain why Diddy's legal troubles are being pursued so aggressively. While it might seem like the authorities are only interested in his alleged personal actions, there's a growing theory that they're also searching for evidence that could implicate others. He's not just a target. He's a gateway, said a former industry insider. If they can get him to flip, the dominoes could fall all the way to the top. This theory has sparked a frenzy of speculation online, with people combing through old photos and social media posts, looking for connections between Diddy and other powerful figures.
Harry was hanging with Diddy.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then
freak off. Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight.
The fear of exposure isn't limited to Hollywood or Washington. It's global. Diddy's events were attended by international guests, including billionaires and royalty. One source described them as a who's who of global elites. While many of these attendees might have been there for legitimate reasons, the sheer breadth of Diddy's network has led to speculation about what secrets those gatherings might hold. Could there be international ramifications to this scandal? Some believe it's only a matter of time before names from outside the US start surfacing. Meanwhile, those closest to Diddy are reportedly feeling the heat. Former staff members, assistants, and security personnel have come forward with their own stories, shedding light on what really happened behind closed doors. While some of these accounts paint Diddy as a demanding but ultimately harmless boss, others suggest a much darker picture. One former employee claimed everyone knew not to ask questions. You just did your job and kept your mouth shut. If you didn't, you were out. This culture of silence, combined with Diddy's immense influence, might explain why so many people are only now coming forward. What's even more shocking are the rumors that some of these celebrities are being given an ultimatum: pay up or face legal action. According to reports, demand letters have been sent to those who attended Diddy's parties, outlining their potential liability and urging them to settle out of court. It's a bold move, one that underscores just how serious the situation has become. And while some might see it as a legal tactic, others view it as a wake-up call. Because if these stars truly had nothing to hide, why wouldn't they fight the allegations head-on? Why resort to behind-the-scenes negotiations and settlements? The answer might be simpler than we think. Sometimes silence is the easiest way to keep the truth from coming out.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And speaking of truth, let's talk about the conspiracy theories swirling around Diddy's arrest and the subsequent raids on his properties. Some believe that Diddy might not be the only one under scrutiny, that these investigations could uncover a larger network of powerful individuals who were complicit in his alleged behavior. The theory goes that Diddy is being used as a scapegoat, a way to divert attention from others who might be even more influential. It's a narrative that's gaining traction, especially as more names are being linked to the scandal. And if there's one thing Hollywood loves, it's a good cover-up. But in this case, the truth might be too big to hide.
That's of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
Joe Rogan, comedian Andrew Schultz, and even Suge Knight have all weighed in on the situation, each offering their own take on what's really going on. Schultz suggested that the raids on Diddy's properties weren't just about him, but about finding evidence that could implicate others. Rogan compared the situation to an Epstein-type compromise deal, implying that Diddy might have been gathering information on his high-profile guests as a form of leverage. And Suge Knight, from Behind Bars, dropped the bombshell claim that Diddy has been an informant for years, a statement that adds yet another layer of intrigue to an already complex story.
Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs and these dudes are like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are and it's like...
And pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to girls.
Girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional dicks to have sex with the girls, and I think he would watch allegedly.
So where does this leave us? The silence, the scrubbing of social media, the ultimatums, it all points to a larger story, one that's still unfolding. As more details come to light, the question isn't just about Diddy's guilt or innocence. It's about the culture of complicity that allowed this to happen and the powerful individuals who are now scrambling to protect themselves. Because in Hollywood, the truth has a way of coming out no matter how deeply it's buried. And when it does, it could change everything.
Caligula.
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
To corrupting somebody
Yeah.
or to...
What happens? Like what happens to these people?
So, what do you think? Are these celebrities staying silent to protect themselves or someone else? And what about the rumors of ultimatums and payoffs? Could there be truth to these conspiracies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going and see where the truth takes us. Goodbye.